Welcome back, everyone. JAYBONE here for Smash This Podcast. Happy 2021, everyone. Merry New Year! Oh, come on in, folks. Relax. It's what the hell day is this? Saturday. The new year has begun. There we go. We got that guy up there. So, yeah, Happy New Year. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a safe New Year. Hope everyone's New Year is starting out okay, at least okay, as opposed to, I know I have a few personal friends. Their 2021 is let's just say it. Their 2021 is not starting out very well. So, and I'm not gonna go into stuff. I just I'm already praying for people going into this new year. It's man, Trent, what is up, dude? So yeah, we're gonna discuss some Impact, some fun little Impact news, a little bit of AEW stuff, and then we'll just kind of bounce it off everyone and anyone and see what comes up. So JAYBONE took a couple days off, going into the new year, recharge the batteries, and just kind of get away from wrestling. We all got to do that. I mean, we all watch some of us watch including myself, just watch way too much wrestling. And sometimes you just gotta step away from it, And so what did I do New Year's Eve? Well, let me tell you. I didn't do much. I didn't do anything exciting. I didn't go out. We just stayed here. Casa de JAYBONE. Casa de JAYBONE. What is up with Twitch tonight? I'm like looking at the stream and it's like stopping every 2 seconds. I hope that's just a Twitch thing and not my feed thing. So yeah, we just spent some time with the missus, with Mrs. JAYBONE, and we watched some stuff. And let me tell you what we watched. Oh my goodness. I'm not going to do like a straight up review of this. Totally. Just want to get some opinions. Does anybody have Disney Plus? Looks good on this end. Thank you. Appreciate it. Terrence Sullivan, what is up, dude? Elijah Washington. JAYBONE. All right. Styles, what's Disney Plus? You're funny. It's just like HBO Plus, only different. Excuse me, HBO Max? Is that what it? Everything has its own little thing. All right, so we have Disney Plus, and whenever you have those streaming services, you try to get your money's worth, and not just tuck them away on a TV or portable device someplace, and you're paying X amount of dollars a month. You want to get your money's worth. Well, I've been at least trying to watch movies or whatever between like the Amazon Prime, the Netflix, what else? I think that's it. the Amazon Prime, and it primarily we use that because Tracy's starting her new business, and she orders a lot of stuff online. So the free shipping through Amazon Prime pays for itself in no time flat. So I just watch all the free shit, and you'd be amazed at what like free stuff is on there for like movies and wrestling and whatever. So I just load up my list with a bunch of free shit, and when I have time, I watch it. But back to Disney Plus. So I binge. Well, we'll get to the Impact Wrestling stuff in a bit. I'm just updating you guys on what I did for the new year. Hey, Mark, what's up? Can't stay. Well, why can't you stay? Well, what the hell? I'm kidding. By the way, I've got your stream at 5.1 audio. You're all throughout my room. Ooh, stereo bone. Hope that gave you goosebumps, you sassy guy. All right, so I was watching Disney Plus the other night, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to catch up on some stuff that I've been seeing. I started seeing, you try to stay away from spoilers on certain things, you know. But I'm on YouTube all the time looking up news and music and updates on this, that, and the other thing. And you start to see little spoiler things pop up. Well, I watched The Mandalorian somewhere within the last year. The first season, phenomenal. Effing phenomenal. Absolutely. If you're a Star Wars fan, it's terrific. And Prime Time, what's up? So I was like, you know what? Cleared my head for a couple of days. I'm going to catch up on some stuff. So around between 8 and 9 at night, I start. And what's nice about The Mandalorian is when you're watching these episodes, you think you're like, oh man, they're all going to be at least an hour long or whatever. No, a lot of them are just over a half an hour long, but they pack so much stuff in each one with the action and the subplots and everything. It's crazy. That's one of the nice things is I binged the entire second season from like 8 at night till like 2 in the morning. Boom, went to bed. So it's not like I stayed up all night, New Year's night. No, boom, boom, boom. Went through the episodes like was it 8, 9 of them? I don't think it's 10. I think it's like 8 episodes or whatever. I forget. But anyways, so I banged through the whole thing. And man, so good. If anyone's a Mandalorian fan out there, it's so good. It's so damn good. If it's on your list and you haven't watched it yet, I'm not going to get into spoilers. But there are certain episodes in this season that you will just freak out as a Star Wars fan because of stuff you're not expecting in a Star Wars type universe, or surprise appearances from, we'll just say, characters. Oh my God. Just an absolute freaking blast. Yes, that news came out, so that's not a spoiler. That news is all over the place. You are correct, Hakeem. Sasha Banks is in there. I won't say who she plays, and I won't say what she does, but yes, Sasha Banks is in season 2 of The Mandalorian. And dude, it's nice. It's nice. It's very cool. it starts out subtle and then boom, Sasha Banks. It's very cool. Primetime says, check you out on the tablet. All right. Very cool. Ronan, happy 2021. Yes. Next week's Genesis and 2 weeks Hard to Kill, Daddy-O. That's right, Terrence Sullivan. And speaking of Genesis, the throwback I've been talking about doing, I was going to do it a few nights ago, and I was just like, no, I'm just not. I just couldn't do it. Physically, just could not do it. It'll come sometime this week, along with some predictions for Genesis, which I don't know if Mark's still in here. I'm probably going to get Mark involved in that again because I've been bringing him in for the special Impact Wrestling stuff. So, Mark, I'll be contacting you in your D. I'm going to slide into your DMs. Hakeem Fullerton. Any New Year's resolution, J-Bone? Oh, just try to get a little healthier. I think I said something about this the other night on TNI. No big spanking, I want to gain this much weight or lose this much weight or do this or do. Just try to get a little healthier because physically it's been really difficult lately. You guys know if you guys know me, you know what I go through physically every day. And it's a constant battle. Just sometimes sitting here and talking to you guys, like if I'm not at least 75%, I don't come on here. I can't do it. Because if I'm miserable, I'm going to make someone else miserable. And that's the last freaking thing I want to do. The people are watching me to, number one, for entertainment. I'm not saying I'm the most entertaining guy on the planet, but YouTube is entertainment, no matter what you're watching, or educational or whatever. But the last thing I want to do is bring people down. So just get a little healthier and expand on what I'm also doing with TNI and Smash This Podcast. And I was actually talking to Trent about this earlier, about new things we want to do in 2021 to grow our brands. And there's some fun little exciting things that we got coming up, and we'll get into that probably Sunday. Wait, what is today? Today's Saturday. Tomorrow night we do the Impact Plus Weekly. We'll get into that. Actually, you know what? I can get into a little bit of it here. So, one thing I'm thinking about doing, and I know only so many people watch this and more people are going to watch TNI, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're watching this here and you're watching that too, then you get a little heads up. Excuse me. So one thing that's been in my thought process lately for expanding just nothing like massive, just little things for Smash This Podcast and TNI, Total Nonstop Impact, is trying to figure out a way to put out different pieces of merchandise besides what we already do. One thing that my goal, and it's not up to me, it's up to the company, God willing it happens, because I'm really excited that the possibility is there. It just depends on the company that I put out merch with, because I put out masks and hoodies and tanks and t-shirts and stuff. One of the things that they got a machine for is an embroidery machine for hats. So that's one of my goals, is to put out hats in 2021 for Smash This Podcast. And hey, if it's possible, hopefully for Total Nonstop Impact too, if we can expand that to somehow, some way through either PWTs or another way, we'll see. Another little thing is I'm going to start putting out pins. And that's actually something that's going to have something to do with my wife. Because she's starting her own little like home goods business, like homemade goods that she makes. So pins for TNI and Smash This Podcast. And also someone mentioned a while ago, I apologize, I don't remember who, but someone said stickers. And I was like, stickers. Okay. But I didn't know how I was going to do it. I now know how I'm going to do it. Because Mrs. JAYBONE's going to help me with something. And she and I already talked about this. And she said with what she just bought today, once she learns how to use it, it's a little piece of equipment she's going to start using. It's going to be easy. So what I'm thinking is the incentive is once we figure out how to make them, I'll make the announcement. And once they're made, or we have the ability to make them, what we're going to do probably, and this is probably what we're going to do with TNI too. This may change, but for now, this just like popped in my head earlier. What we could do is we can sell the stickers, or if you buy another piece of merchandise from somewhere else that we have merch from, like PWTs or my merch shop through What For Apparel, you let us know that you purchased a piece of merchandise and you'll get a sticker in the mail from us if you like. That's something that popped in my head earlier today. So that's a little nice little thing that we're contemplating doing. Called Gia Miller. That's right. By the way, if you have not seen the Gia Miller interview that we had on her last week with on TNI, please go check it out. She is an absolute wonderful guest. Probably one of the best interviews we've had since starting to do interviews within the last year over on TNI. Absolute joy. And for someone that's not a prominent person on Impact Wrestling, to have the discussion that we had with her was just kind of like, was like, wow, she's, it surprised us pleasantly. It's not meant to be an insult or anything. It was a pleasant surprise. Yes, they announced that. Yeah, the hard to kill. Yeah, celebration. Yeah, that came out. I think some like more specific information came out. You can go to the website and go check that out. Oh, bandanas with the Johnny Swinger emoji. I don't have the capabilities of doing that. Maybe somewhere down the road I'll have the ability to, but that's actually a kind of a cool idea. You'd think of something that me wearing all the time, that'd be a great idea. I just don't have the ability. Well, I mean, I could buy them, autograph them, and sell them, but I don't think that's really worth anything. But if I have the ability to purchase them, get a logo on them, and then sell them, I'll let you know. So, so that's just catching up on me personally, and little little goals, I guess you could say, for the future. So keep an eye out for those as we get, stuff updated. And I think a Patreon is also in the works, at least for TNI, possibly for Smash This Podcast too. We'll see. We'll see. Yes, that is one of the pieces of news. You know what? Let's kick off with that little piece of news. Thank you, Hakeem. I have a whole crap ton of tabs open here, and we're going to go through all these little things that I have here. That's right, Zach Bonner, for goals. It's good to have goals, especially for 2021. Sean, save that for later. I'll ask me that later when I open up discussion to everyone, all right? So yes, Killer Kelly has been we'll just say a hot little topic in the discussion of new knockouts in Impact Wrestling. And the big question is whether she's going to be signed or not. Well, on Impact Wrestling's YouTube earlier today, they dropped her entrance music. And it's one of the most, now you know me, I love my hard rock and heavy metal. And I love all sorts of stuff, but I love my metal. Dude, this entrance music, theme music, whatever you want to call it, for Killer Kelly is killer. It is, what do the kids say? It's banging. It is heavy. I mean, heavy. It's heavier than JAYBONE Smashes podcast intro music. It's brutal. It's awesome. If you have not heard it yet, go to the YouTube channel and go check it out. Find out where Swinger gets his made. Well, I know who puts out one of them. I'm not sure who. Well, I know the store that sells them. I don't know who makes them, though. That's the thing. I'm not sure. But that'd be interesting to find out. I could ask him. Zach Bonner for banging for the what? Paul Nelson, my favorite menu. Uncle, the second best podcast in the world. Second best? Paul. Who's number one? I'm just asking. And it better be TNI. Who's number one and why is it not Smash This Podcast? No, I'm kidding. Love you, Paul. Hakeem says Killer Kelly's theme is fire. You bet, dude. RK, what a nephew. Why I oughta, right? Oh, Paul knows I love him. Shots fired. Oh, shots fired. Shots fired. Uh-oh. Right. Okay, it's the little one. You get just a little one. So yeah, Killer Kelly. Now, is that a sign that she is signed? We'll have to wait and see. I know they've taped stuff through Genesis going into I almost said Bound for Glory. No, Hard to Kill. So, are we going to see her again? Hopefully, you know, and like I've said a billion times on here, never assume just because they dropped the music doesn't mean they're signed. Look, you know, James Storm just came back for a real, you know, real brief end of the year. You know, he stopped in for a taping, did a couple things. They dropped his music, doesn't mean he's signed, but it has, you know, meant that in the past. So cross your fingers. Keep telling them. Keep telling them. Codebreaker says Killer Kelly might be staying for a while at Impact Wrestling. Yes, we hope so. We really do, because she is great. Sack Bonifer, but a flesh wound. It is but a flesh wound. Mike M says Killer Kelly showing up on Dynamite would make me happy. Well, okay. Either or, but I would love her to stay with Impact Wrestling. I'm just saying. I saw something about somebody showing up on Dark next week. Did I see something? I don't remember who it was, but it caught my eye. Was it Renee Michelle? It was someone. It was someone like new. I could be wrong. I forget. But nonetheless, yep, we cross our fingers. Yeah, Hakeem, I'm not going to, that's not news. I'm not going to talk about that. That's just goofy. But thank you. Yes, that was from ringsidenews.com. That was one of those funny little things. Paul says he watched AEW again, bawled his eyes out all over. Let's transition into that. We're going to kind of just go back and forth. Majority of this stuff is Impact Wrestling related, but this is AEW related, this little piece of news. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Terrence Sullivan. Ashley Vox is set for an appearance on AEW Dark. Now, does that mean anything? No. There's a lot of people that have been doing matches just to work, you know. And if they have the opportunity, by all means, get on TV, get on YouTube, get on whatever, especially if it's for a company like Impact or AEW or whatever. Hell, Ring of Honor, MLW, whatever, you know. Go get paid. Seriously, that's because this has been a crappy time lately, you know. So, yes, thank you, Terrence. That's who I saw. Appreciate it. Not going to overthink it, though, because she's one half of the Sea Stars, right? I believe. Sea Stars? I think. Something? I don't know. So, oh, Ronan, yeah, her girlfriend works there. Yeah, that's the oh gosh, I can't think of her name. The Russian ass kicker girl, something, I don't know. So, all right. What's next? Oh, yeah, we were going to talk about AEW for a second. Yes, I'll get to him in a second. So something came out that the tribute episode to Brody Lee was the highest rated episode ever. And when you first hear that, you're like, wait, rated where? From who said that? And how did they come up with the rating? So it's according to a website. Some of you may go to this place for news. It's kind of like a big wrestling encyclopedia website. It's called cagematch.net, I believe. And I get some of my my stuff from there as well, as far as content for TNI when I'm putting in results for said episode or whatever. But yeah, apparently it came out with a 9.8 something rating with, I don't know how many people rated it, but you know, and look, it's nothing to really like freak out over or anything. It was you could look at it in a bunch of different ways. And look, wrestling's all subjective. It's nothing to be upset about if you don't agree with it or whatever. It was a very fun episode as far as wrestling. Was it the best wrestling show as far as professional wrestling? I would say no. I think I think a lot of people just rated it as far as like big picture rated it. Like what they did for Brody Lee was so big with the tributes and the matches and the booking. And it was overall, I mean, yes, it was a very emotional show to watch, but it was also a very fun show to watch because it was one of those where the good guys won, in a sense. You know, it was booked for the good guys. The good guys won, the bad guys lost. And it even continued a few storylines going forward. So, you know, I don't know if I would have rated it the best of all time, but I'm sure a lot of people gave it a 10, you know, out of 10. So, like I said, it's all subjective. You can let me know what you thought about it. You can go to cagematch.net and go rate it yourself. You know, that's up to you as a wrestling fan. William, what is up, dude? Are you home? Are you still traveling? What's up, dude? Hope you're well. I know you were at the GCW shows, and I didn't hear anything about them other than what did you said something? One of them had a pre-show the other night on YouTube. I've got that on my to-do list to watch because I didn't watch the events themselves. Paul is asking you to jump in, please. Well, that's up to Paul. I mean, that's up to Bill. Excuse me. Wow, it's late. Mark says, Dark Order is a babyface faction now. Well, we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to assume anything, but I did, actually, I do have a little something here that might sway some thought in that direction. Bill says, just got home a little while ago. Synergy was the third show in a row. Oh, dude, rest. Holy crap. You probably got travel lag or jet lag or some kind of lag. Go rest, bro. Rest so you could join us tomorrow, unless you've got another show tomorrow. I don't know. All right, so this is one of the tabs that I actually did have up, so I'm going to just read part of this. Says, Evil Uno discusses the Dark Order's future after Brody Lee's passing. This is courtesy of ringsidenews.com. Says, while speaking with Talk is Jericho, Evil Uno discussed where the Dark Order goes from here. And to start the quote, I'm not going to read this whole thing, but Okay, I'm not going to read. Okay, so I'll read the middle part here. It says, this year has given us confidence in the sense of, I think we can pull through this. What does Dark Order do from here? Genuinely, I wish I could tell you. I wish I knew. Today, right now, I don't even want to think about what's coming up. I'm mostly thinking about John. I think the most obvious thing is we need to stay as a group in his honor. This is kind of wild because our cult group thing was, hey, you join this group, we'll make you better. But now it feels like we have to become better wrestlers, better people for John. We now encapsulate his legacy. And this goes on. It says his name is going to be attached to us forever, and anything from now on that is bad is not a bad thing just for us, but also a bad thing to his legacy. So, yeah, I mean, not that they have to walk on eggshells, but yeah, it's true. They are tied to him, and he is tied to them, and that's his. The last part of his legacy. They want to do him proud, specifically because of who he was as a person outside of everything. And that's all we've heard about is how genuinely incredible of a father, a friend, a mentor, whatever, whoever he was to said people he knew, man, woman, child, anything, it was genuinely awesome, So says maybe we're just a family. There's a lot of ways we can go about this, but I think everything is going to be under a magnifying glass because everything we do now has to be good as good as what John was. So yeah, I mean there's some big things to fill there. There really are. So yeah, and by all means, leave your thoughts on let me know what you want them to do. Do you want them to stay on the course and be kind of an evil cult thing, or do you want them to just continue kind of like what they were doing from this past episode where everyone kind of went babyface and kind of went on that course? I mean, me personally, I don't know. I'm certainly curious as to what they do, but whatever they do, you just got to trust them. I mean, they're really kind of going into all new territory just because of what happened. It's kind of scary, kind of crazy, kind of cool. I don't know. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Codebreaker says, do you think Ethan Page not signing is like Impact signing Susie and Su Yung separately? Maybe they didn't sign Ethan, but the Karate Man. Let's talk about that. So I have an article here, and this is also courtesy of Ringside News. And it says here, and they quoted the Wrestling News Observer. It says it was. I heard a boop.
Hey, JAYBONE.
It's Bill.
What's up?
What is up?
I figured, since I was asked, I'm pretty awake, so just got here, so yeah, no. Figured might as well because I know tomorrow when I'll just discuss Impact related stuff. So
Okay.
If once you get through your stuff, if people want to know a little bit more details of the last couple days, I can go a little bit more into it here.
Oh, absolutely.
Probably makes more sense.
Yeah, we can do that because it sounded like some fun shows. I saw some of the. I just didn't watch it. But I am going to watch that pre-show because you said there were some fun matches on there.
Yeah, no, there were some definitely. I would say night 2, GCW was. I think I enjoyed it more than night 1. I think that was a better, just better overall card. The the beginning of the main card on Thursday night 1 was really good. Then there was a scramble that went short, and then they needed to make up time, so they had Joey Janela try to burn like 20 minutes on a promo, and at one time he was just running the ring back and forth. So that sadly some things fell apart, and then like it was like a hardcore main event, like an I Quit death match with Jimmy Lloyd and G Raver, and that was good, but it was it hurt the momentum on that first night. It was much smoother on night 2. And then the Synergy show tonight was very good as well. And I know you were just talking about Brody Lee. Obviously, as you said, affected a lot of people. Like even the show I was at tonight, Synergy, they did obviously a 10-bell salute. GCW did a 10-bell salute.
Oh, that's awesome.
A lot of guys like Frightmare. He was a Chikara guy with Brody Lee. So you could tell he was like really like he was dedicating a lot of stuff during his match to him. But
that's cool.
You can see it. Like KTB, whose shirt I'm wearing, he's been down at Dark a few times. So obviously he probably had some run-ins with him. And he's been an indie guy in the Northeast for a while. So I'm sure they crossed paths maybe in maybe upstate New York, PA, or Jersey years ago. Okay. But no, definitely some good shows. And we'll talk about tomorrow some of the Genesis guys, Casey Navarro, who he was making a big deal about being on Impact as he was like taunting the crowd. We'll see him Tuesday on Impact, Casey Navarro.
Oh yeah, there's a 4-way.
There's a 4-way, so we'll see him. But like he's kind of a heel, and he was using that. And I'll say, I'll see you Tuesday. And he's like, oh yeah, you will. So he was there tonight. And then obviously Blake Christian. That's really cool. I saw GCW the last couple of days. He'll be on the Genesis cards, but a lot of good talent. Obviously, GCW, one of the top indies, and then big news tonight at the Synergy show. Ooh. An MLW guy, but who knows? Maybe Impact one day. Jordan Oliver won their world title from Brandon Kirk. So, congrats to the young, dumb, and world champion.
That is huge for him.
Mm-hmm.
Now he was
he was in the tag team with Myron Reed. And there's someone else. Injustice and Kodo Brazil.
That's it.
He was the third guy. I think at the end it wound up just being the 2. I'm not sure where the Kodo's been around recently. Honestly, I have to catch up on the restart of MLW.
He was in the news somewhere within the last year about something, but I don't remember what it was. It was something, I forget. Maybe it was 2 years ago. I don't know.
But yeah, talking about guys we saw, like obviously like 8, and talking about Jordan, he beat ACH at GCW. Huge win for him. Great 3 days for Jordan Oliver. He beat ACH and who's the other one beat? He beat 2 really good guys. Then he wins the title tonight. So 3 good days for him. But
that is something.
Yeah, so there definitely some interesting comings and goings. And Game Changer GCW, they announced at the end of the month they're doing a 24-hour wrestling card.
Oh wow!
Like a marathon. They're going to do like an 8 p.m. to 8 p.m. show, like sort of like what we did for 5 hours, but wrestling nonstop for 24 hours.
Jeez, that's crazy. So, I'm assuming are they going to do some replays or?
I don't know what they're going to. It's going to be on YouTube, I believe, for free, and like you can donate to a lot of the guys. So they're going to. So it's going to be. I believe it's on January 29th to the 30th. So stay tuned. It's called Fight Forever. I'm not a fan of the Fight Forever chant, but it's a good name for that show.
Oh, come on. What's Fight Forever?
Like, it was okay in Lucha Underground, Like that's where I kind of, at least I think it became like real noticeable, but then it just became way too much.
In this, yeah. I think a lot of those kind of also started in Europe for some reason.
Yeah, I think that was more kind of taken like a lot of the like the Olays and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah,
there's some good stuff you can take from around the world.
there you go. So,
yeah, I mean, what'd you cover all so far? Because I caught some of it. I know the big thing, Sammy. You already talked about Sammy, I assume.
no, I was actually going to save that.
Oh, you're going to lead.
Last.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. I talked about Killer Kelly's theme dropping,
which
YouTube.
Could be a hint. Could be a hint.
Yes, that's what I said. I said it's not guaranteed. I said, but I said because like they did that with James Storm recently too. Yeah, he's not.
Valid
signed.
Point. He's not signed, but I have a feeling. Like I know I told our group. I think Renee. I think she's signed. Renee Michelle's signed. I wasn't sure about just Killer Kelly because of her being overseas. That's the only hiccup. But if she's not, my feelings with her is she'll be like, I think she could be huge. I think she could be a face of the division type Killer Kelly.
So, and then I mentioned the AEW episode was like the most, or not most, but highest rated episode over on cagematch.net.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, do they rate it by match or overall episode?
I'm not sure. I know they have match ratings, so that might have something to do with it. But I think it was
I could see as
episode
a episode. I could see that more so because people are tough with match ratings, especially for a TV product. So it almost seems tough to do that. But obviously for the goal of what they did, they definitely did it well. So
through the roof. Yeah.
I did secure my tickets for next Wednesday this morning.
Oh, now that's going to be big because that's Kenny Omega versus Phoenix, right?
It is. So Kenny will be in action. So I'll have to think. I know we were talking about the other night. I have to remember what I said. Originally I said Rich Swann shirt, but then maybe I don't know if I said I was wearing one of my vests. I don't know what I said I was going to wear. I got to wear whatever I said I was going to do. I might go to the videotape.
You should wear some STP merch.
Not a bad idea.
Oh, I did mention before I hit the news, as far as like little goals and stuff for like TNI and Smash, that I'm going to be putting out some pins and stickers in the soon to near future.
Okay. And speaking, I see the bandana there. Are they officially available, or is that a Mrs. JAYBONE? Oh,
this?
Yeah.
No, that's like dollar store stuff.
Okay. Gotta get all the plugs in.
Yeah, right. No, someone actually asked me about that, and I'm like, I don't know how I would go about doing that yet. I haven't seen that as an option anywhere.
You know what? You're right. Although I know, and let's see, do I have it somewhere? I'm not sure where I got it, but like Synergy, they had a face mask tonight. So I grabbed, I $10. I bought their face mask and I put it on. I wore it at the show all night.
There you go.
That Impact still does not have a face mask. Smash's podcast has a face mask.
Smash's podcast, yeah.
Honestly, TNI, we need to get a face mask as well. But Impact needs a face mask. Come on, man.
Your buddy Dave bought one of my masks.
He did,
and it looks great.
He wore it at a VXS show.
Awesome.
In the front row.
You know, I'm not sure what the option TNI has for pro wrestling tees.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk to Trent because he's got the connection there.
Yeah.
But if he can't get it done, maybe smash this podcast.
Yeah. Because we know they
TNI.
offer them.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like the major wrestling fig podcast has them through PWTs, and so does all the AEW stuff. So I think so, but who knows? Like, who knows how they work things? So, but we'll look into that because obviously that's not going to change for at least the first half of this year. Yeah. So I think that's something we should definitely investigate.
So, but yeah, if I can figure out a way to do the bandanas with some kind of new, what's that?
Oh, this was Evan, a friend of ours, the real big fan from New York that goes to a ton of indies. He made
Oh,
these fatheads. This is actually Lee Moriarty as seen on Explosion. Hopefully, maybe we see him more in
oh,
Impact. But he comes out in this
nice.
mask. He doesn't wear it while he wrestles. Tiger style.
Oh, so that's kind of like I'm trying to think who else does that. Oh, like
Oh, Top Flight does that right now.
I was gonna say, thank you. I couldn't think of their name. I know the one guy is Airwolf.
Yeah.
Like, I'll always know him as Airwolf, the older brother of the two.
Yes.
I believe.
The other one's real young. He's maybe what, 22, something like that. And the other one's like 18, 19. Like,
Yeah, I heard like 21 and 19, I think is
Yeah.
what I heard recently, which is just blows my mind that they're that good and that young. But yeah, they come out in the mask and then they take it off. It's not like a Rey Mysterio mask where you leave it on like all the time. And, it's different, which I don't understand what the difference is, but I'm not going to sit here and judge it because I don't understand the whole culture anyway. So it's okay. I'll leave that to them. They're the mask experts. All right, where were we? Let's see. We're gonna save Sammy for last. Oh, one little fun bit of news here. You guys might have seen this. This isn't like news, but this is just something a little fun that I found. Courtesy of ringsidenews.com. The headline says The Rock calls Chris Bay's impression of him a bunch of bullshit. And at first you're like, oh no, that's like, that's really harsh. But then you start reading the details instead of never assume, like I always say, it's actually really comical. I'm going to do a little share.
Oh, yeah.
Screen-a-rooney here.
Putting the kid over.
That's right. We always put the kid over. Where is it? There it is. And we got the share audio. Okay, so I'm going to play this. This is funny. So if you can't read it, says this is Chris Bay's Twitter box, and he added The Rock, be like.
It's 5 a.m. in the Iron Paradise. And we're going to get this workout in. Cardio is a must. It's 5 a.m. in the Iron Paradise.
Okay, so he says it's 5 a.m. Dwayne The Rock Johnson replies with, Chris, you already know this is a bunch of bullshit. I start my cardio at 4 a.m., not 5 a.m. What the fuck?
That's very good. Very good. That's huge, man. Chris Bay, man, 21 could be the year of Bay.
Just the fact that he started out the year like that, getting a reply from The Rock is and it's all out of humor. It is out of love. It's all you
probably saw all the backstage of like the Shamrock video where he's wearing like the tightest shirt possible, The Rock, and like the whole locker room are like kind of poking fun at him for just how crazy ripped The Rock is with his workout routines. Yeah. And I know if you've watched his things, like he's getting beat up in his workouts, like he's having stuff hit him. He's showing color, man. He's a nut, that guy.
It's pretty funny. Oh, Codebreaker, you're right. I am so sorry. You were talking about the Karate Man and Ethan Page. Yes, let's talk about that. Let's talk about. Oh, careful, Bill. Don't.
Karate Man.
Don't karate. Your camera. So, I don't know how the hell I got off the subject of this, but anyways. Oh, I think that might have been when you.
Yeah, probably was.
In. So
I
Ethan
Kyle.
Page. You Kyled my show. Damn. No, it's all right. It's all love. Ethan Page is officially a free agent after his Impact Wrestling exit. So this is the quote from a Wrestling Observer newsletter. Ethan Page is no longer with the company, and he decided not to sign a new deal, which breaks up the North as a team since Josh Alexander has months left. Has pulled all his merchandise effective now, pulling merchandise often is a prelude of going to WWE, but there's nothing confirmed on that front. So, but now what's interesting, now he's talking about the Julian, what is his site called?
Oh, like Play by, is it Play by Julian? I know that's his,
Yeah. His the website that has his real name that he's always plugging. That's part of his Patreon and everything. Oh, Played by Julian. That's it. Yes. But now, if you go to Pro Wrestling, you know what? Let's just for a live checkup here. Let's go to Pro Wrestling Tees real quick. And I looked at this the other day. Yes, thank you. I'll talk about that sale in a bit. Come on, fingers. Okay, I spelled that right. Oh, I did. There it is. So, Ethan, oh my God, these pop-ups, I swear. So, the Ethan Page, All Ego, Ethan Page shop on ProWrestlingTees.com is still up. But I have noticed in the past that sometimes if people are signed to the WWE, their PWT site does stay up for a few months while the transition becomes like official and paperwork and physicals and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, just won't see any new stuff, really.
Right. He won't put out any new merch unless he does put out the karate whatever stuff. So I'm not going to overthink this, and so he is leaving, but how the transition is going to happen as far as his exit from Impact Wrestling goes, we'll just have to wait and see. How is it going to play out in television? How long is it going to take? We don't know yet. I mean, we can speculate because we now do have this Karate Man introduction,
Yeah, like right now we have nothing for Hard to Kill with him involved that we know of, correct? Like we're assuming maybe a Josh, Ethan, or Karate Man thing could happen, but nothing's confirmed. Like he has nothing scheduled right now.
Nothing's official.
Okay.
It can certainly happen. So yeah, we just gotta wait and see. And then I'm assuming
we cover we can get into that, Josh, because he did drop some news as well, didn't he?
Well, I know he dropped a promo as of the new year. Basically said no more tagging out.
Yeah.
2021 is mine, or he said something like that.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a bit of I don't know if it's his old singles promo, like entrance video, or if it's a revamped one, but it looks pretty badass. It's on his Twitter.
And I have seen him solo, and I'm trying to think if that's in the case. I'm so used to the North stuff over the last couple of years. But obviously, Trent would be the best one with that, with the AAW stuff, as a former world champion there. But it has a more badass thing, and that whole the walking weapon, that's definitely the route he should go.
Yeah, I am so excited for his future. I mean, he's got like a year left ish, give or take a little.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping. I'm hoping for big things for him. I mean, he had one of the best runs he could have possibly imagined, being a tag partner with Ethan Page. I hope he does well and is booked well in his singles run. I know he's got a lot of support from Scott D'Amore, being another countryman.
Yeah.
And we just got to wait and see what happens. I mean, I think the future is just wide open. You could predict anything for him at this point, but
a lot of fresh matchups, fresh singles matchups. Like really, he could put him in the main event scene as a like Kurt Angle style singles competitor, really.
Grappler.
Yeah.
Yes, totally. Zach says Trent knows music. I had no idea. Wink,
Now you
wink,
have
nudge, nudge.
well, look at you going fancy. Is that or did we do that at TNI too, or is this just a Smash production with the comments?
Oh,
A new
that's
layout?
something. That's something new that they kicked out. You can change. You can change the look of the.
No, the comments instead of just like the standard. Looks good.
Yeah, and like the block. If you
Okay.
highlight. See, there's that.
I think
That's
wrestling news.
that's a little. Shane Taylor Promotions is trademark. Hey,
Hey.
no. Screw that idea. Hell no. No, they couldn't do that anyways because of Stone Temple Pilots. That's why I don't try to do anything.
Yeah, you can kind of get away with it on like pro wrestling tees.
Yeah.
People have kind of done that before, like the STP logo. Well, honestly, STP took the STP logo from STP. But STP's like oil, right? Or something like it. Didn't they take that original logo?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, they tried to make like a classic looking like a car oil yeah. So, but yeah, that's also why I haven't tried to put out that type of merch with that logo on it representing Stone Temple Pilots because
you don't want to confuse the market. Although you're right, no need to take the risk because who knows, in the world today, man, people are looking at everything.
Yeah, and I love Stone Temple Pilots way and respect them way too much to do that. But I'll gladly rip off a NWO look.
Well, everybody, remember, hey, too sweet.
Too sweet.
It's all about ripping off.
It is.
Well, it's not ripping off. It's an homage.
Yes. It is a tribute of sorts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not a cover band. We're a tribute band.
Yeah, that's a big difference. Because I have the haircut like Hogan and everything. So not sure what yours is, Bill. We'll talk about that off air. No, right. Yours is probably honestly closer to Nash's right now. He's got the short.
Yeah. I definitely don't have the curls of a Hall. So, well, if I let it go, I probably would have the curls of Hall a little bit. My hair gets a little curly, so not a little bit, but at the ends, it's raised at the ends.
I don't know how you are with a toothpick. There you go. See, he could do it.
Hey yo.
So yeah, Ethan Page. We got to just wait and see how his stuff all plays out in the future. Someone mentioned. Oh, Hakeem here. Yeah, this is a little thing here. Could Ziggy Dice being heading? Is he heading?
Beheading.
We don't want Ziggy Dice beheaded. We like Ziggy Dice. I mean, he is outlandish. He is. How do you say? A little outspoken, similar to a MJF type character. That's why
also Johnny Swinger.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, he's a bit of a throwback and a little bit of a kind of just flying by the seat of his pants. I don't know where he would fit in better. Honestly, his gimmick. I mean, he says his gimmick is transcending bigger than anything right now. But of course, you got to put yourself over. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to know more insight on that, I actually did go to a certain YouTube channel that I would not normally put over because, well, number one, it's not really an interview. It's more of a half an hour long promo of Ziggy Dice talking about his situation currently and NWA and all that kind of stuff. Because I would never normally put over because he's a but I was curious as to see what he would say. That's the only reason why I did watch it. It's very interesting. I won't divulge anything. Go there if you so want to go see what the outlandish Ziggy Dice.
I did watch a little of Ziggy last night, his Twitch stream, because he said, "Oh, I'm going to stay on until I make a decision on where I'm going."
Oh, that's what I saw.
So I gave him a little bit of time, but he was like playing games. I don't know what he was even doing.
Just trying to mess with the fans' heads and
I did see another, not him, but just making me think because you mentioned the NWA, another former Impact guy. Sounds like he gave his notice for the NWA. Official Brian Hebner said he's going to see what's next on the horizon. He enjoyed his time at NWA, but he's so it sounds like he's done as well. So I don't know if that means you're going to see him pop up in one of the promotions again pretty soon. Obviously, Earl is technically, I guess, with AEW. I don't know when's the last time he made an appearance, but
I don't know. I mean, you got to think about the guy's age too. The guy's getting up there in age, isn't he?
Well, Earl for sure. Brian's got I have no idea. Maybe in his 50s, early 50s, early mid 50s.
Oh wait, what did you start out by saying, Brian or Earl?
Brian is the one that said because he was in the NWA and he just said he was out of there. So he just he tweeted that today. But I think Earl,
when you said
Earl signed the AEW, but I don't know if that's just like more of like a ambassador role because I don't think he's been on in quite some time.
You know what? I don't think he has.
There's Paul. Paul's the one that got me on this show tonight.
Paul's always trying to throw stuff out there. No, we love Paul. Mike says he watched the interview also. It's an interesting interview. I mean, he really does not hold back. And it's also very interesting on politics coming into play in his career at the NWA, which is really unfortunate to see. It's going to turn a lot of eyes away from NWA and hearing stuff like that, especially for an up-and-coming character like Ziggy Dice, who's just trying to make a buck now. You know, he's just trying to be a team player. He's not trying to, bring an organization down or anything. He's just trying to, do his thing in a company. And he just couldn't. They just wouldn't let him. And he was a champ too. That's the crazy part. You're a champ. You're representing a company and they won't even let him represent it, And when he was not physically able to because of restrictions he had in the company, they wouldn't let him go anywhere else and do anything, which is, where you saw other people from NWA go to AEW and kind of, do their thing, and he wasn't allowed to. So I can see why he would be pretty upset about that,
Yeah, no, it's reasonable. I know I've been before the AEW stuff, and not the AEW. I think I've been pretty supportive, but I've been a little hard on the two Tonys. But before that, I've probably been hardest on the NWA and Billy, because obviously they came out very early on. Billy holds a grudge with obviously how all that ended, and was very the NWA will never work with Impact. Everybody but Impact. And then when Raven said they pretty much closed shop, and then he just came out and denied it to everybody, but obviously he did. We've seen it now. The NWA, I don't know what you want to call it. I like to say it's belts. It's traveling titles that you can use at your own promotion. They're not a promotion. Maybe they will be again, but they're not right now. Because I believe Ziggy actually, he did go on one of those Universal whatever shows, but that Pro Wrestling from Hollywood does, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood does.
Yeah,
And I think
prime time or something.
there, right? Yeah, I think he dropped the title there, just like Storm and Eli dropped the titles.
Yeah. Storm and Eli dropped it to the question mark, and I cannot think of the guy's name. He used to wear the blue robe in the WWE.
Oh, you talking about the guy that had the worst Impact run I think of?
Aaron Stevens.
Yeah, Aaron Stevens.
Aaron
Rex, the former Aaron Rex.
Rex, yes. He's a tag champ now, I believe. And the Pope is pimping. The Pope is now the TV champion.
Yes, that's
in
who
the NWA.
Ziggy dropped it to. Yep.
Which is very interesting. But I'm not gonna, I'm not going to really form an opinion on it. I was just kind of like, oh, wow, good for him if he's still wrestling. That's cool, because I didn't really know he was.
Oh, it is kind of a throwback, because that for a while that was what kind of some of those NWA champions were. They would travel the territories, pop the territory, and then leave.
Yeah,
and that's kind of what they're doing. Like, because I guess the only guy that's really considered hanging around is Aldis. Like Aldis, he's going to continue to be the NWA champion and appear. Maybe occasionally at AEW, that other promotion. See what happens.
Yeah.
And maybe if the world gets normal, then the NWA actually can come back, but who knows?
Yeah, it's going to be at least a year, I think, before that happens. And if it even lasts that long. One thing about Ziggy Dice that he did say as far as complimenting Billy Corgan is he said he was paid by Billy Corgan while he was sitting and waiting to see what was going to happen next. So I will give him that.
Oh yeah.
I have no clue. He didn't, divulge dollars.
Yeah, no. I don't think my stuff with NWA, and like I said, I was at the NWA 70 show. I grew up with the NWA. I loved like that. I wanted to succeed.
Oh, sure.
But I just like there. I'm glad no shady business practices. But I just like companies being more at the forefront of what's going on. Like I know they didn't want it to get out. Hal Raven let it get out. They're telling me they're pretty much shut down. And they just couldn't deal with that news cycle saying that they're probably closing the doors. So they denied it and then acted like that other promotion was the NWA, which it wasn't. Just it's fine. Like it's crazy times. That I think the people will work with you. They'll want to support you. I like to say, just come in the front door. Don't go in the back door. It's Billy Backdoor.
Oh, take that a few different ways. My goodness, Bill. Woo!
Smash those pumpkins.
Something. My goodness. Love you, Bill.
This jacked up jukebox.
Yeah, jeez. Woof. Talk about pumpkins. What else? Oh, okay. So I was gonna bring up this funny little note and then go into the headlining article that we're going to talk about.
Let's bring you all here.
Yes. And this is more of just a chuckle. I'm not going to think too much on this. This headline is from WrestleZone. It says Street Profits defend their tag titles next SmackDown against the newly named Dirty Dogs. The picture here is Rude, as in Robert Roode. And I was like, Dirty Dogs. And then I had to open this up to look and be like, oh, okay, breaking news. As confirmed on Talking Smack, Street Profits will battle Ziggler and Rude next Friday on SmackDown for the tag titles match against Ford and Dawkins. I'm like, Dirty Dogs. I'm like, so Ziggler and Rude have been a tag team now for a while. I don't know how long, but Rude recently came back after Mania and things opened up a little bit, when people were staying at home to be safe, but then he came back and he's been on TV on a regular basis now with Ziggler again. And now they're calling them the Dirty Dogs. And I just kind of laughed. I'm like, Dirty Dogs? Like, what? Where? How? Why?
I think Critical Sting got it here. Oh, well, my bad.
What? Dirty Heels. Oh,
Yeah, obviously that was him and Aries in
that's
TNA.
right. That was what, 5-ish years ago? Was that about that? Or was that longer ago than
maybe
that?
No. It might actually been a little sooner. That may have been that. Like that's late, the late run of like that's a little bit before. It's maybe 16, maybe 16. Maybe it was 15. You may have hit it right there.
Okay.
Oh, Armin saying maybe 7 years ago. All right, maybe.
Oh, 7. Oh, okay.
All blurs.
2012, 2013, something.
Yeah, I got my Dirty Heels shirt upstairs.
Rose says 2015. All right, so it's somewhere.
2015. And then you got it. You got it pretty good.
All right, so yeah, I mean it's somewhere. Rude left before 2016. Okay, so it's 5.
Oh yeah, because that's when Young. Yeah, because Young was gone then too. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was.
Yeah, 15 was like the last year they were all around.
As far as like the OGs.
Yeah, the OGs.
Storm, Rude, Daniels, Joe. They got rid of like a ton of them within a several month period. So I just kind of thought I just wanted to share that. I read that and it just kind of made me laugh. I'm like, Dirty Dogs. And I didn't even think about the Dirty Heels. So, but I'm like, man, and I did check WWE.com just to see. Every once in a while I check their merch just to see what's on there. There's some interesting stuff on there. There's if you want a Bobby Roode shirt, he's got one on there for like $7 or $8. It's pretty cheap, but they're going quick. It's at 30% off clearance sale. I almost bought. I still might get it because I do like Robert Roode.
I do. I have so many like It Factor Bobby Roodes. Actually, I'll have to grab my favorite piece of Bobby Roode merch.
Oh, go get it!
Let's see. Can I almost reach it?
Go get it.
Can I reach? Well, I can reach it. I can reach it.
He's
the
got
gimmick table. I can extend on the gimmick table. That's the Team Canada jersey.
Oh yes, I should have known.
Yeah,
that is a classic.
Although there were some good It Factor shirts and stuff. Even the Dirty Heels shirt was very low key, but it was like old school, like 70s, 80s NWA style.
Slick. So yeah, so it just kind of, and I didn't watch like anything else WWE related this week. I just couldn't. I just couldn't stomach it.
That makes two of us.
Yeah. So, but that was interesting. I did want to just quick throw that out there. I got a nice little laugh.
Which is always good to know because I still find it just like, especially Bobby Roode and Eric Young are tight. He's got to see what's going on with EY here back in Impact.
Yeah.
It has to make him think, I got to assume.
And I'm sure he still talks to some of these guys in some ways.
Yeah, they all do. Like, even just like talking to the guys on the indies. Like, I was talking to one, and he was telling me that he's watching TNA Impact all the time. He has no previous connection, but he's watching it a lot. This is an up-and-comer on the indies. Now, are you watching it because maybe you're going to have an angle with somebody that works there, maybe on the indies? Or maybe you're looking for a possible landing spot at some point?
I'll tell you, there's a lot more people that are looking that direction nowadays just because of how new people are booked when they go to the WWE. It's a very rough start for a lot of people, and it's very disheartening. Obviously, you want to go there and you want to be champ. Well, not everyone has that opportunity, but you also want to have a decent run as far as storylines, the chance to wrestle, period. You know, some people have not had that opportunity and have just been shot down time and time again. We've talked about that. I don't know how many times in the last few years with people going there. Look what they've done with EC3, Lashley. And Lashley's doing okay now. He's champ. His comeback to the WWE this last year was pretty rough. You know, he's doing okay now, but man, it was crazy for a while. Bending over and spreading his ass cheeks to the camera. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, I mean, if anybody else saw that, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
It is horrible. Like, damn, the things they're making people do. Just ridiculous. But anyways.
Yeah, you get that brain trust of Vince and Pritchard and Dunn. Can only go so far.
Yeah, exactly. Which is not very far at all. So yeah, if the Dirty Dogs merch comes out, I might have to get that because I actually do.
It's good to take advantage of some sales. Like I said, I took advantage for our Christmas show on the Twitter. Thanks for. I know there's some people in here that were doing the 5-hour watch along with the donations, and yes. I saw RK. He was our winner of the Shop Impact merch.
Oh yeah.
But I got like a Good Brothers, OC Club sweater, ugly Christmas sweater from that deal. So it's worth looking at that stuff.
That one's still up there.
Yeah, and if anybody, I know we talked about in the chat because I only found it minutes before the sale ended because it was a 1-day sale. Impact had a great sale the other day on
they had New Year's Eve. They had $5 merch, hats and tees.
Yeah.
And it was gone within 24 hours. They had just wiped out the whole. They have very little left on their shop.
Well, it's weird. They must be reformatting it because
that's kind of
what
I'm
like
thinking.
18 items on it. Then it was down to 16 items like yesterday. So there's almost no merch on the site right now. So I got to imagine they're redoing the whole thing. Like hopefully, honestly, if I'm them, because they've been promoting it a little bit more, Tuesday I hope it's full of merchandise because they're going to be showing that Shop Impact commercial, and if there's only 16 items on the whole website, not a good look. So
hopefully they'll have some new. Yeah, hopefully they'll have some fresh stuff going in there. Well, and they had a lot of fresh stuff too. I don't know why they took some of it down, unless it just all sold out.
Well, that's the thing. They did have a lot of new stuff, so I got to imagine it's almost sadly like the Impact Plus app. They took it all down and couldn't get it all back up as soon as they should. So. Hopefully there's somebody working on that right now.
Yeah. Critical Sting Morrison humping the stairhead. Yeah, that just was kind of weird. Taya probably was like, "Don't ever do that again."
Yeah. Let's re-sign with Impact.
But that's funny. I did see an article. Now, there's nothing specific on it, and it's from Fightful, so that makes me think it's all bullshit, and people are just like, ooh, it gets people talking. That's why people put out bullshit like this. Like,
clickbait.
Exactly. It's clickbait. So there's nothing specific, and it came out right after Matt Riddle re-signed for whatever he signed for. But it says there's like a half a dozen to a dozen people that have not re-signed and they're just letting their contracts go out. Well, come on, and that just gets people talking as far as who is it? Is it this guy? Is it that tag team? Who is it? Well, you can only, not sign so many people back. And then you're already on a bare bones roster right now because you let go half your freaking company within the last year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we'll kind of keep a close eye on the news for that one because obviously people are going to be looking for work and some aren't. We thought some of these tag teams that were set free within the last year would be snatched up someplace, and they haven't. Teams like AOP, teams like one of my old favorites, the Ascension,
mm-hmm.
Big Con and Victor. And I forget what they called themselves now. It's on PWTs, but I forget.
Yeah, because they were booked during like WrestleMania week. I think one of the WrestleCon shows under that name, but I forget what it was.
And they've got a separate, it's not a PWT. Well, they do have a PWT shop, but they got Birch up on some other wrestling merch site, and I forget what it. Oh, is that it? The Reckoning? Yeah, that might be.
That sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah.
It was something like that. So that I'm sure Sting's got it right.
And the merch is actually pretty badass. It's pretty cool. So
yeah, if they just sadly, if they didn't try to make them a clone of the Legion of Doom, that was the biggest mistake.
Well, yeah, and I blame JBL. JBL buried him 2 seconds after coming out on stage. Completely buried.
Look at the gear, and it's like it looks like bad Road Warriors Legion of Doom gear.
Well, and
like they had nowhere to go. They had nowhere to go with that look. And they were saying what a lot of the audience, JBL said what a lot of the audience was thinking. But JBL, you can't say that because then you're dead. You're dead.
Yeah, just completely buried him in the water. Yeah. Oh, Critical Sting says, shocking that Chris Hero hasn't shown up anywhere. Yeah, he's just, you know what? He's just biding his time because of the way things are right now. So is he going to show up somewhere in 2021? We cross our fingers. He's still a favorite. He's still one of my favorites. You know,
I'm one of mine too. I'm a huge Chris Hero. You guys may have heard it before on another show, but 2CW, which actually I was talking about recently because Sammy had put up that 2CW match with him, Brody Lee, Rich Swann, and Pac. But 2CW is where I saw my favorite Chris Hero match, and it was Chris Hero versus Dalton Castle, and this was like Dalton Castle just starting to become pretty big at Ring of Honor, and it was the stiffest match I got to assume Dalton Castle ever had in his life up until that point. Ooh. And he was just like, welcome to the big leagues, kid. And he just was killing the guy. And it was like Chris Hero working like the super stiff Japanese style is a joy to watch. And that's the Chris Hero I like.
He's got one of the most stiffest elbows out there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
it's crazy. By elbow.
Death by elbow. Love it. So, all right, so I'm going to share this, and this is basically the headlining. I appreciate everybody sticking around waiting for this because I know it's been coming up in the chat, and I just been
the long tease.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The long tease. So, the draw, aka Sami Callihan, said New Year's Eve day. Today marks when I would have been a free agent. I just re-signed with Impact Wrestling 2 years for big, capital letters, big money. I got other offers, but I don't give a damn. This is my, capital M-Y, company. I made this company. I will be champion again in 2021. Hashtag the draw.
Huge.
Yeah, it is. It is. I did not realize he was one of the names that was up as far as free agency at the end. You know, we've talked about a few names here and there. Taya, Ethan Page, I believe Rosemary was thrown around out there. And no, I have not heard about Taya or Rosemary. All we know is what's up with Ethan Page. Now we know about Sami Callihan. So he is going to keep this company on his back, so he likes to put it. But you know what? I would completely back him up on that because he has. In this rebuilding phase that Impact Wrestling has been through, he has absolutely done everything in his power.
Up until the pandemic, MVP of the more callous era. He is by far. Like, obviously, he was away for a little bit, and then he was transitioning that new character right before the pandemic with ICU into it. So he kind of got a little bit lost in the shuffle for a little bit just to kind of get back in there. But he's been finding his way back in there through different means, like almost like a manager type figure to Ken Shamrock at times. Like he's still finding his way, and he's one of those heart and soul guys, like an Eddie Edwards of the company. But Sammy, he really elevated the company just nationally.
Oh yeah, whether it was through controversy not meant to happen, like the baseball incident really kicked things off, really got people talking, whether it's good or bad. And to quote a band, one of my favorite bands from back in the 80s, they said this, whether it's good or bad, press is press, be thankful for it. Molly Crew. That's paraphrasing, but yeah, because there was a lot of stuff that, people were talking about them back in the 80s, like, oh, they're satanic and blah, 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 blah. Well, you know what? Even if it is negative, they're still talking about you.
Oh, yeah, that's one of the oldest things out there. Any publicity is good publicity. And, well, take that with a grain of salt during, like, the speaking out movement and stuff. We know.
Well,
as some people said here, that's not necessarily the case. That used to be the case. There's a few bridges you don't go over. Yeah, everything else, though, is usually good. Like something like that, a unsafe worker. Sami Callihan has shirts like that says he's an unsafe worker. Like, that doesn't matter. Randy Orton was considered an unsafe worker. The guy just, they're signing like lifetime deals, these guys. So that's fine. A little controversy, as Bischoff would say, creates cash.
Hakeem Fullerton says, spitting water on Cornette is still funny.
MLW legend right there.
I was there. I was there live when it happened. And, man, that crowd roared. And Cornette's face was about as red as the red stuff as you see in the background here. Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. And, neither one was around much longer after that.
No, I see you later, Tom.
Billard, I feel sorry for the water. I hear you.
As long as it's not in the hot tub.
So yeah, we'll see what's in the future for Sami Callihan. He's staying. I hope. I don't want to assume either what's going to go on with Shamrock, if he's going to stick around another year, if he's going to just slowly fade away. He did his Hall of Fame stuff. We're very proud of him. I don't know what else there is for him to do.
But then he was still around, and right now he was suspended. I think hopefully we find out on Tuesday. Because his suspension should be over now. So I hope it's addressed.
Yeah, or going into Genesis. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Because now is this end of the year has been a little tumultuous as far as contracts and stuff, and we don't know who's all doing what, so we just got to wait and see how it plays out. So anything else you wanted to bring up?
Well, just finishing on Sami there, I think for everyone saying like they want to see Sami back in the main event, if Rich Swann's the champion, that's easy to bring Sami back into the main event.
Sure.
So it's an easy elevation back to Sami, and I know everybody with the Tessa situation and that short title run, it would make a lot of sense depending on where. But obviously, a lot of that's contingent on the Kenny Omega story and how far that's going to go. Because for all we know, it could be booking through Slammiversary. I don't know. It might.
Yeah,
I have a feeling it ain't ending at Hard to Kill. It doesn't seem like that'd be an end.
They've got some long-term booking that they've done over the course of this last year. Hell, look at Swann's comeback. It lasted all year, quietly, but it lasted all year.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just gonna wait and see. David Valentine says Impact needs that secondary title championship ASAP. Well, yeah, we've been talking about that. We are getting the women's tag champs. Oh,
we are.
I think I know.
Oh, ding, ding, ding.
Well, that's not what I thought it was. Okay, never mind.
Well, I guess it also depends on what you think of that X title. Like if Option C comes back again, can the X division be the secondary title? Or do we have to have a separate title? Like, is that or do people just want to see that be like the cruiserweight, light heavyweight type title, the X division? Even though there's no limits, most people, I think, give it those limits. And That's why they never say there's a secondary title. When the X division with option C is the antithesis of a secondary title.
JAYBONE, do you think Sammy will reform a stable if Shamrock leaves Impact? If you're talking about OVE, no, I doubt it. Just because there were people in it that are not with the company anymore. So that kind of leaves a negative connotation with it in a roundabout sort of way, unfortunately. He could certainly do, I mean, he still has ICU. That's still kind of like his thing. So, I mean, could he grow that and bring people in with him like he's done in the past with, like he did with Fulton? Maybe. I don't know. We just gotta wait and see. I mean, there's a lot of free agency going on out there. I know. Zach, it wasn't me DMing you. Usually it is. Usually it's hey, here's a picture of so and so with a picture of so and so over the so and so. This beginning of 2021 is full of question marks, and I'm very excited to see what new faces are going to show up, especially for the X division. Could some of them show up to support Sammy and back his, whatever he wants to accomplish in 2021? Absolutely. I don't know.
I would like to see a stable form this year, because I know we thought it since Slammiversary there was going to be maybe multiple stables, maybe the return of Team Canada, maybe the return of Aces and Eights, maybe a new. Now, right now we have what Eric Young is doing. I'm calling it us for right now.
Yeah.
But that is a possibility for sure. If EC3 returns, which I think he will, does he come up? Remember, all of his stuff was going to be, there was going to be more. And that probably includes Moose now as part of the EC3 group. But could there be more, maybe cast-offs, if we, with loose term, not in a negative connotation, but the people that were up north, maybe a Brian Myers could be part of a group like that.
Yeah, it could be, or we could even see someone like Eric Redbeard show up down the road. He just showed up on AEW. A lot of people automatically thought he signed with them. He's not. He's still a free agent. He just showed up for his tribute for his fallen brother, Brody Lee. So yeah, he's going to take some more time off. That's this one really, you could see it. It affected everyone in that company and anybody close to him, no matter what company they were with.
Like I said, guys that have interacted with him at some facet, even on the independents, like they're like it hit hard for a lot of people.
Yeah, just because they know what kind of person he was and what he's leaving behind,
And I think it's just like something like that, even in your own personal life, especially during this past year with COVID. Like, it's one of those things where that's a guy 41 years old. It could be anybody. It could, like, even these guys that are in their 20s, 30s, but a lot of them are 30, 40 years old. That means that could happen to me. It's one of those things, just like, someone that got sick from this, little cancer, COVID, whatever. It just brings, like, this reality closer to home for a lot of people. And I think that's a big part of it. It's like, wow, that's too close for comfort.
Yeah. Because this has touched everyone, no matter whether it's touched you personally, as in you caught it, or someone, a relative or a friend. Everybody knows somebody that's had it, and that's what's tragic, and a lot of people have come through it, shining colors. And I just had an old classmate of mine from years ago when I was a child. Put on Facebook, she's like, I just caught it. And I was like, oh my God. So she's, close to my age. I'm 46. So she's like 45-ish, 45, 46. That starts creeping into that age, depending on what your health issues are. That can be terrifying. I hope to God stays okay. We've had people in our family that have caught it. I've been damn lucky. People like me with my health issues are not supposed to live through pandemics. So I've been blessed. I think every day.
And you've been playing it pretty safe, which is kudos to you, JAYBONE, because that's the right thing to do.
Mentally, it's been very difficult trying to do what I'm doing as far as like not doing shit. But yeah, I am staying safe. It's just, man, I want that vaccine and hope to God that it can give me a better chance in the second half of 2021. Just that's what I'm praying for.
yeah, no, that's like hopefully we're beyond maybe a halfway point.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah, this just one day at a time. It's all we can do. Anything else? Let's see. We'll get rid of that. Just getting rid of my tabs. Oh, I did want to bring up before we get out of here. I want to make this shorter than 2 hours, but I did want to cover a bunch of different little news bits. Coming up on the 4th at noon till the 9th at noon, PWTs is having a 20% off New Year's sale. And obviously TNI is going to be a part of that. Of course, I've got merch too, so I got to plug that. Go get you some STP merch. But if you want a really good discount on the TNI stuff, now's a great time to do it. Starting tomorrow, head on over there and get you some total nonstop impact merch. You'll see the I believe our friend of the show, UK Team TNI UK already put the banner up that I made earlier.
Nice.
I didn't think he was going to already, but he did. But that's okay. It's just the sale starts tomorrow, so I hope that people weren't going.
I might have to get TNI UK shirt. Maybe I'll rock that.
There you go. And we are going to have some new merch on there soon. And I don't know exactly what, but we had talked about just putting the plain new logo up as some merch on a different color.
Yeah, and then like I know, obviously we're on Smash, but I know it's a lot of the same people.
Thanks for the bits, RK. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, RK. But obviously on the TNI, but I'm sure Jay's the same way with Smash, like on the socials and all. If you want to see merch, like certain type of things, I know like Adam Impact said it before, like, oh, I like the shirt you already have, but do it in this color. Or maybe a slightly different shirt design, like maybe a long sleeve like option or a sweater or something like that. But throw those in there. Obviously, can try to take feedback from the people. If they want something, try to do it.
Yeah, and that's one thing I have done this past year is the lollipops became a gimmick. I put out a lollipops t-shirt. I was contemplating for a while putting out something like NWO-ish related, and the classic design of the NWO came out with the new STP shirt. So that's out now. If you guys want to see something and I think it's a hot idea, I'll design it and set it up. And I've had the new stuff on there for a while, so like this coming spring, in the next couple months, I'll be looking to get some more ideas. But yeah, by all means, hit me up. Be like, hey, what about this for a piece of merch? And I'll
because even like the TNI design shirt was from one of the listeners. It was from Josh.
Yeah,
that came up with like, hey, I have an idea for this, pretty much, right? Isn't that kind of how it kind of started out? I know you and him kind of came up with that stuff, but that was hey, go for it, man. Whatever the people think. But once again, with the merch here, obviously great if you do that. But once again, in these times, a lot of these performers not working, limited. You can support them through these sales, through their merch in any way. That's a huge help right now. So if you're, and especially like I did with Dave before, get in with a buddy or something. Maybe get a group thing, get the free shipping. If you get it's like $150 to get like. But then it brings it down, 150 minus 20%. So you probably got to spend like $120 on stuff to get free. But so maybe you can throw a TNI shirt in with a bunch of stuff. But friends of the show like Daniel Spencer have pro wrestling tee stores. So like not even what you all think. Like just look around on the site. Lots of people have merch you don't even know of.
Yeah. And speaking of like, other people got merch. One thing I did purchase the other day, once the new year hit, was a lot of different people have Brody Lee tribute shirts.
Yes, and they're up there too right now. Yeah.
AEW put theirs out. It's very cool. I'm gonna pass on that one because I got a different one that I saw that is really cool. EC3's got a badass tribute shirt for Brody Lee, and I purchased that one. And some of EC3's current designs are on sale for a pretty good price.
Yeah, that Punisher looking one, the red.
That's the one awesome. I got. That's awesome. The one I got. Yeah, so I got that one because I love EC3, and I got the Brody Lee tribute shirt that should be coming sometime next week. And so yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out. I really wanted to get some of those $5 Impact shirts, but those are gone. Boom. Those.
It was like instant. Like I saw it. I put it up. I noticed it was. Then I just started going like, oh, okay, they have a size. Bang, cart, bang, cart, bang, cart. And then I'm just like, oh, let me see if I can even get it in. I got it in. And then like Dave was right next to me. He's like, oh man, I want to get there too. I went back in there, gone.
Yeah, I should have got it when I had the chance.
Like I said, because I was at a show most of that day, so I didn't even see the email. But it came at like 2 to 3 p.m. Eastern for a sale that was ending like hours later. So it wasn't even 24 hours. It was like 10 hours, 8 or 9 hours.
Yeah. So yeah, by all means, go to PWTs tomorrow or head on over to the link in the description. Get yourself some new merch for the new year. Because baby, it's cold outside. There's hoodies and all sorts of stuff. That's one thing that JAYBONE does have is hoodies for sale. So, Bill, tell them where they can find you.
Oh, they can find me mainly on the Twitter, but same on the Instagram at my name, William M. Gardner, Gardner, and on TNI, We Talk Impact, where you'll be seeing us tomorrow night with JAYBONE, with the weekly family dinner on Sunday. Who knows? Maybe Kyle. I don't know. He could be there, but we'll do that, and then the co-stream, which we're pretty much the only people doing it for the most part these days, at least every week. Tuesday, you can watch the Impact on Access TV feed with us on Twitch only, and then the review Tuesday and all that good stuff.
Yes, and you can find me over on that Twitter box at JAYBONE5150. That's JAYBONE 5150. All the links are in the description, the Twitter box, the Face Botch, the Instaneck, and new, as of just before the end of the year, audio on anchor.fm. Look up Smash This Podcast. There is also a support button on there if you want to. It's kind of like joining a Patreon without a Patreon. If you want to help support the show, you can make a monthly donation. That's set up on there too. And because I haven't set up a Patreon yet, but that is something that is probably going to come in 2021 for TNI and Smash This Podcast. So keep an eye out for those if you do choose to support the show in that way, or you can just get merch or whatever you want to do by helping to support the show. Follow, subscribe, cheer bits, all that lovely stuff. That's it. We'll see you guys tomorrow night over on that other little podcast called Total Nonstop Impact. Later, folks.
See ya.